Hello friend, Jim here, JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. On today's video, what I really wanted to talk about was a subject that I've actually had questions about in regards to renting at Lake Chapala. And so what I've done is I've gone back through some of my prior videos that I've spoken about some things about rentals, but really kind of gone even deeper in regards to choices and differences and some things that might be important for you. So the first thing here that I want to talk about is your budget. And it's really important because your budget is really going to determine whereabouts around Lake Chapala that you're actually going to live. Now, to kind of give you some correlation in regards to the way the lake is, picture this huge lake. And along one of the lake shores, there are two towns. One is Ajijic, and the other is Lake Chapala. Now, although they're only about 2 or 3 miles from each other, there's a whole lot that goes on in between them in regards to homes and businesses, all there along the lake. So when you get towards Ajijic, there's going to be two choices that you can make. One is going to be living above the carretera, which is the highway, or living below the carretera, which means that you're actually going to be living closer to the lake. The higher you go, the more the homes are like being from the States. The lower that you go towards the lake, you're going to find yourself that there, and I'm sure you've seen some of my videos, as you're going down some of the streets on the cobblestone, you will see off to the left or off to the right what looks like big garage doors. And there are homes in behind those. So depending on the type of location and place that you want to be able to park, and are you going to have parking, there's some of those things that are also going to be important that go into your decision in regards to where, in fact, that you do want to live, whether it be more down towards the lake or whether it be above the highway, the carretera. There will be more parking that you'll find that will be closer to your apartment, your house, your condo when you're above the carretera, just because the space that there is that's available. So if you're looking for an apartment, if you're looking for a condo, if you're looking for a house, and you're needing parking area, in other words, maybe you like entertaining, maybe you like having more than just one vehicle, you'll probably want to be above the carretera. And again, that will be something you'll want to look at probably your first time when you come here to Lake Chapala. Now, let's talk about the amenities that you might be looking for. As I mentioned in one of my prior videos, I was talking about living here at Lake Chapala on Social Security. And the magic number I kind of talked about was anywhere between $550 and $650 up to about $800, to where you're going to be able to find something, for the most part, again, more towards an apartment or a condo that will be probably around a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, that will have some of the amenities or some of the utilities that will also be included. So one of the questions, or one of the things you're going to have to find out from yourself is, what do you want to make sure is included within your rent? And that will be something that will be important for you to discuss with yourself or with others that might be coming with you, because that will depend on how much you'll end up paying every month for your lifestyle and the house, the apartment, or the condo you're going to be living in. Okay, so when it comes to the amenities that you're going to desire, and within that, I'm going to kind of read just a little bit of a list for you, and that is, when it comes to all utilities paid, or having a pool or a gated community, 24-hour security, it being furnished, filtered water, are pets allowed, cable TV, satellite, internet, an alarm system, a gardener, maid, storage space. So there are some things that you'll be able to do from a distance. When you come, and when you come for your first time, you'll want to check some of these things out. But if you're looking for a condo it's a gated community, that has 24-hour security, that is probably going to be furnished and has filtered water, those kind of things for the most part are going to be above the Carretera. Now, if you look for a place, and let's say, for example, that you find a condo, you find an apartment that has those items, but let's say, for example, that it has that you're going to have to be paying for the gas, or you're going to be paying for the electricity. Well, when it comes to things like HOA, who pays for that? That's going to be important for you to know. If it's got a pool, if you're renting a house and it's got a pool, now, who pays for the maintenance for that? Is that going to be something that's included within the rents? Or is that going to be something that's going to come out of your pocket? Who's going to pay for the filters? That's going to be really, really important of knowing. When it comes to an alarm system, who's going to be paying that monthly fee? How do you use the alarm system? That's also going to be really, really important. Now, one of the things I'd mentioned in one of my other videos, when we came down for our first visit here to the lakeside, we actually went with 3 different realtors and went and looked at a lot of different places. Now, the place that we ended up choosing, we had seen before in a development, but it turns out that one of the ones that we were looking at was on a second floor, and we weren't really looking for a second floor. So is that going to be something that's going to be important for you, whether it's a second floor or first floor? And if there are amenities, which of them are actually paid for, and which one are you going to have to be taking care of yourself? Here's another thing that will be important when it comes to internet. Now, who pays for the internet? And just know that there's all throughout the city, there's places where the internet's a lot slower than others. Now, they do have fiber optic here. So there are places where the internet's faster. We've got faster internet. We're blessed by that. But one of the things you might want to think about doing, and that is, there's something called speedtest.net. Now, if you're looking for a place and you're doing it online, or let's say you've been here before and you've gone back and you're kind of just making sure some things, one of the things you might want to do when it comes to internet, if that's important for you, if you're working from home, and that is to have the renter, the landlord, or the management actually go on and do a speed test for you, whether it's on their phone, whether it's on a computer, whatever it may be, and then take a screenshot of that and send that to you. That way you'll know the speed of the internet of where it is that you're going to be. Now, there are some places you'll find that won't take pets. And for example, where we're at presently doesn't allow pets. But there are other facilities that do allow pets. And if so, are they going to require a pet deposit? And if they do require that, is it per pet? Do they allow 2 or 3? Or do they allow a cat and 2 dogs, or whatever it may be? And if in fact you're leaving a deposit, when in fact do you get that returned, or what are the requirements for you to get that returned? That will be another important thing if you, in fact, you're a pet lover and you want to have or keep your pets. The same as with the internet. Make sure it's something that's a base that you covered, if in fact it's something that's going to be important to you. Now, when it comes to location, are you bringing a car? And if you are bringing a car, just realize there's some fees that go into that coming across the border. And then when you have your car here, and again, I've gone through those numbers and such within my videos talking about living here on Social Security. But if you don't have a car and you're going to be relying on the public transportation, whether it's a bus, whether it's a taxi, whether it's Uber, just realize that on the Carretera, which is the highway that goes right along the lake, which goes in between Ajijic and Chapala, buses and taxis are going back and forth all the time. I will tell you, if you sat at one of the restaurants or wherever it may be, and take a look at the buses and all, they're going back and forth. They're going by there can't be 10 minutes or even 5 minutes goes by that you don't see buses or taxis going by. They really, really are heavily prevalent. So if you're looking at getting a place and pretty much you're going to be on foot kind of getting around, you want to know what the proximity of some of the places you're wanting to get to are. And if you're going to use public transportation or not, or taxi, or you're going to use Uber. Things like getting to the restaurants or getting to grocery stores or getting to Walmart. Walmart's kind of halfway in between Ajijic and Chapala. So that'll be something else that'll be important for you to know about also. Is where you're going to be. Are they going to have a gardener? Now, is that gardener paid for, or is that going to be something out of your pocket? Or how about maid service? Now, again, there are facilities that you can rent, condos, apartments, houses, that include that service. But then there's those that don't, but offer the service that maybe give you a list of individuals that can come and take care of the yard for you and come and do house cleaning for you. Something else that might be important for you. Are you someone who likes to pretty much be in quiet? Now, if you live below the carretera going more towards the lake where the population is a lot more close together, just got to realize that you might hear dogs barking. You might hear, roosters crowing. You might hear just people or kids playing. You might hear music. You might hear a lot of laughing and parties going on. Is that going to be a concern to you? Well, if it is, you might want to make sure that you're here in the area that you're looking at living in and being around maybe on a Friday night or a Saturday night or Sunday or during the day even to kind of get an idea of how much noise is there in that neighborhood that you're possibly looking at moving into. Now, when it comes down to the bottom line and signing a contract, now the contracts here are different, somewhat like in the States. For like 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year, even longer than that. What I would encourage you to do, because some of the contracts are even in Spanish, I would encourage you to actually have an attorney take a look at them so you know full well what is expected. Not only what are you expected from the landlord, but what the landlord is also expecting of you. And within that contract, remember, if you're renting, and you're renting, let's say, for 6 months, after that 6-month period, can the landlord, are they going to raise the rent? And by how much are they going to raise the rent? If you're there for a year and you then want to go for another year, are they going to raise the rent? Now, the numbers that I've been given is around 10% per year. But if that's something you're counting on, you want to make sure that that's in your contract, that the landlord won't go any higher than 10% per year or whatever period of time that you're actually looking at renting. You want to make sure that that's very well in the open so you know what to expect. Also, when is the rent due? Is it due on the 1st? Is it due by the 3rd? How is it expected? Is it expected to be paid in pesos? Do they want it in U.S. dollars? Is it someone from the States that wants it in U.S. dollars? Or if it's a local landlord, do they want it in pesos? That's also going to be really important because you've got to plan it, because as your Social Security has been deposited into your bank account in the States, you want to make sure that you plan on making sure you get to the bank or to the ATM where you can withdraw that. And that might take a time or 2 or 3 to kind of get used to changing from US dollars into pesos so you can kind of get used to what that is involvement. So, in fact, it doesn't become a frustrating experience of, well, how do you figure this all out? So that'll be something important for you to know, too, in regards to how do you, in fact, need to pay the rent, whether it's in pesos or U.S. dollars. Now, we were fortunate enough that when we came here, we actually went and took a look at a lot of places. So we had an idea of where we wanted to be. But if you're doing this from a distance and you're doing this online and you're not necessarily doing this through, let's say, for example, a real estate agency or through a condo service or an apartment manager, you want to make sure that you're really careful about who you would be sending your deposit to. Because remember, like in the States, there's individuals here that will play games and they could be renting a place out and collecting rents from several different renters. And that's not something you want to get involved in. So you want to make sure that things are above the board. Also, is the person that you're sending your rent to, do they own the home? Or are they just somebody who's like off Craigslist that's got a place they don't even have anything to do with? They're just collecting rents, or they're collecting the deposits from individuals that's not even going through their mind, or just thinking that everyone they're going to deal with is going to be very above board. That will be something really important for you to make sure of too, that you're able to trust whoever it is you're sending your deposit to if you've not moved here yet, to make sure that that's all been taken care of. Something else is renter's insurance. Now, a lot of properties here don't really carry insurance. And here's the reason why: because fires here are something that doesn't happen a whole lot. In fact, I don't think we've seen a fire in the almost 5 months that we've been here. A lot of the buildings and all aren't done using wood. It's used concrete. They're using cinder blocks. It isn't the typical construction like what you would find in the States. So if you've got things that you're bringing, you might want to look into that and check into that. Or there's a place that you're actually going to be renting, have a garage that you can place things. Or are you looking for a storage unit like we did to place some things? The condo we have was fully furnished. So it isn't like we had to bring a bunch of furniture and things down. And if you're kind of contemplating whether you're going to bring your household items down or not, you want to make sure that you go back and watch some of my earlier videos talking about now making a decision to move to Lake Chapala. What are some of the things that you want to be thinking and actually want to go through and do? I shared with you all the important things that go into coming and looking at renting a house, an apartment, a condo, and kind of gives you all the things to be thinking about when it comes to renting. Really think about what it is that you're looking for. What location are you looking for? So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope the information has kind of gotten you thinking about some things maybe you hadn't thought about before that would be important things for you to really think about and have covered. So with that, as always, I want to thank you for being a part of this video. If you feel that it's been very valuable for you, I want to encourage you to give me a thumbs up. Here's why. Because when other folks are actually looking for certain types of videos, and the algorithms through YouTube actually work in a way where if there's certain videos that are listed and they've got thumbs up, that's going to enable other searchers and viewers that are looking for things about renting an apartment to be able to find quicker. And if you've not already done so already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. And if you haven't already, also make sure that you hit the bell. You don't want to miss any of our upcoming videos. We've really enjoyed this road that we're on, this traveling that we're doing in regards to sharing videos with you about things that first were important to us, and we realize that it's also important to a lot of other folks at the same time. And if you'd like, leave a comment. If you have any questions, feel free to do that too. We love reading those and being able to answer and share information with you and direct you to other videos of ours or whatever it may be. But until next time, have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.